Hello, my name is Joseph Lyon and I'm answering question 4 of the evaluation. What audience would watch our film? We had in mind from the beginning of the project that this would be a film primarily targeted at teenagers because it falls in the same vein of horror films such as Final Destination, Saw, other things that attract teenagers. And we wanted to follow in that in creating a film which was similar but had its own ideals and principles. Specifically, I'd say they were mature teenagers around 14 to 14 and up, I'd say. I mean, whether there'd be an age bar on the film would be debatable, but it would be quite a mature film for audiences. Not because of a gore factor. I mean, unless there would be, but there's much doubt for that. It would be more in the horror of it. How disturbing the character of Simon would be against someone like Fiona, who's meant to be a sign of normality, a symbol, so to speak. So it would tend to fall to teenagers who are into sort of the horror genre, for example. Listening to like any type of mature music and TV show wise would probably give a good indication of why they would watch the film itself. I imagine quite adult shows, quite mature, maybe action based, mostly thriller, because thriller TV shows would definitely connect towards what we have for the film because it contains its own thriller element as well. So it would be primarily targeted at teenagers, not kids, because it can be understood they wouldn't be mature enough to handle it. Adults, yes as well, they would be a secondary audience, but it would sort of aim towards an older adult demographic. And we hope with what we've achieved with the film would attract them in because it isn't focused on any type of gore factor but more the fragility and insecurities of a disturbed mind, such as the character of Simon, who I play. And he was played out to be deliberately this disturbing, almost sociopathic villain, so to speak. Like, there are certain good qualities about him, but they're lies. They're meant to be facades that attract Fiona in initially, then repel her, and leads to a culmination of difficult feelings between the two characters, which is what particularly would attract them in. The fact that such an imbalance between how they would interact would cause a great deal of action for the film itself, particularly if he is to capture her and do various more interactions with her and gain a greater closeness between the two characters themselves. That would be key for the film. But otherwise speaking, it's more to do with a relatedness, because generally an audience now, they're more mature, and the audiences have grown up with films in many of the recent decades. There's now a greater deal to be scared, and it's not as easy to scare a member of the public. But we decided we'd go for something which strikes at core ideals. The fact of a stalker preying upon this young girl is something that we can possibly relate to in our general daily lives. Something that could happen, and considering what extent the character goes to is what causes much of the deal of the fear factor for the film.